Good evening, everyone. My name is Juan Rodriguez, and I'd like to thank all of my peers, contemporaries, and colleagues for sitting through this presentation today. I'll keep it short, but in that time, I wanted to share and reflect upon my learning experiences in the Advanced Literature Assessment and Instruction course. One of the things that I found to be true is that during working hours, there's little time to collaborate with your fellow educators, with your peers, or your colleagues. There's simply not enough time. And during your time in the classroom, the energy is so kinetic, fast paced, and frantic that you have even less time for any self reflection. That's one of the beautiful aspects of a course like this one. During this course, we met and discussed our reading, our ideas, thoughts, and beliefs over the course of several hours every other week. And the weeks we didn't meet, we spent time engaging in more in-depth discussions online. During my time in the course, I have not shied away from the fact that I'm far more inexperienced in the classroom than my peers. But one of the things that has helped me the most during my time in this program and in this course were the discussions had here. They have changed how I see things, how I understand the classroom, and even my fundamental understanding of what literacy is and can be. Another factor that played a great role in my increased understanding of literacy was the class text we used as a basis of many in-class discussions. Stephanie Harvey and Annie Ward's book, From Striving to Thriving, was one of the most complete and interesting texts I've read on the subject of literacy and the role of educators as support for striving readers. What amazed me even further was the amount of care and understanding for striving readers that saturated the text. Even the term striving reader was a thoughtful substitution for the negative struggling reader. It was clear that more than anything, this book was a love letter to striving readers, a careful, loving guide to becoming an educator that can truly assist these students. This text provided so many thoughtful quotes that stuck with me. We have an opportunity to change kids' lives by putting them on an upward reading spiral. The first step is to trust that through experience with appealing books, through a high volume of pleasurable reading, these readers will thrive. We feel urgency and agency about matching striving readers with compelling reading material, arranging time and space to read a lot, and providing expert instruction. One of the earliest assignments done in this course was the reading timeline assignment. It was relatively straightforward, simply reflecting upon our own pasts as readers. But in its simplicity was its value. By reflecting upon our own pasts as readers, it showed that the events that led to our literacy competency weren't separate points, but rather part of an extended continuum. By careful reflection, it helped me to think about literacy and reading instruction differently. Reading instruction isn't some time set aside during special arbitrary points in the course of the classroom day. Every moment has the potential to be an opportunity for reading instruction and promotion. Because this assignment allowed me to reflect on this, I began to understand that reading was, more than anything, a lifelong journey. What I'd like to focus on next is the critical reading inventory, an assessment designed to categorize miscues, reading ability, and comprehension in a standardized manner. The experience of administering this assessment was an incredibly positive and useful one. Though I imagine most of you have had some experience administering tests like this, if not this one exactly, I think that the experience is useful, even if you aren't as inexperienced as I am. I had given this assessment once before, and while I was far from an expert, I believed that I had done a good job. Through the course of this class, I began to gain insights into this assessment that I never had before, because I had the benefit of my peers who supported and improved my understanding of not only how to administer this assessment, but why it's important. Even if I were the most experienced teacher in that room, I'm certain that my viewpoint would have shifted and evolved from engaging with my peers. Because of this course, I was able to gain support from some of the most intelligent and creative educators around. I think, no, I know that my peers and their involvement with my assessment and reflection gave me insights that I could have never gained alone. And of course, everything leads up to the big assessment, the course long project, the case study. I've done case studies before. I've done a lot of case studies before. Even so, this case study in particular was incredibly enlightening and useful to me as an educator. Every case study is a blessing in disguise. They're incredibly time intensive and require much focus and ingenuity. But they also allow for the kind of thoughtful, close assessment that is unfeasible when working with several dozen students. It's so much different working with one single student. The experience of administering the case study was one that often tested my patience, tackled my understanding, and forced me to make intellectual leaps that I hadn't expected. And it was worth it. My time with Austin, my case study student, was interesting and forced me to rely on strategies I normally hadn't considered. It required a lot of trial and error, trying to find that watershed book, the book that would be the thing that helped Austin to rekindle his love of reading. And it took a lot of time, but once I did it, I felt incredibly rewarded. And that moment made all the effort worth it. Overall, this was a course that changed me in many positive ways. It forced me out of my shell and required me to verbalize my thoughts and engage with my peers. It challenged my beliefs and bolstered my understandings. To summarize, this course was good. This course was very good.